Today we're making a painted brick model out of foam. The video is broken into 3 key parts: the building of a tool to help us engrave the foam, the cutting of the foam, and then the painting of the foam. So here is the tool. What we've got here is we've got this nib, which is going to aim to kind of engrave the foam, which is attached to a rod, and that rod can rotate because of a servo that we're going to slap in there 90 degrees, so you can cut horizontal and vertical lines. All of that is then going to be put on a tool plate, which can then fit onto my 3D printer, and then that then will give us the opportunity to engrave and etch these bricks. And here is the tool. It does the job, it spins, and it's still a bit janky, but it still works. Once I've made that tool, I can now convert the printer from printing mode to this now new engraving mode. It was a bit of a faff to get it to work because you had to get the alignment right with the tool head. So the printer is now homing. This is the homing sequence. It's homing X, Y, and then Z. Multiple times. So here is it's homing its Z coordinate. It's basically defining how high the piece of foam is in relation to Z. So, you know, one piece could be 0.1 mil off and the other one could be 2 mil off. So it's just giving us a tolerance. So when we do the engravement, it's all one solid line, and it's got kind of a smooth cut to it. Here's a tool. It's grabbing the tool head turns, and off it goes. And now just doing the verticals. So what the tool head does is it raises the bed down and turns the servo 90 degrees, and then it starts doing the bricks in the vertical hatch, which is quite a fun little thing to watch. So now we've made these bricks. I've made quite a few plates. We've got a running bond, and then we've got a stack bond as well that we can see later. I'm just trimming everything off. You can see on the right hand side there's some kind of quirks, but that's okay. We're just going to trim it off and we're never going to see it again. And here's the stack bond, which we're going to use for the reveals later on. So now I'm just cutting out the courses for the window head, which is kind of like a stacked reveal, like the photo we saw earlier. and then just sanding everything square so it's easy to stick, and sticking the steps together so you get this stepped reveal. So now everything is modelled, it's time to stick it all together. So I've done a quick little mock fit before then getting the glue out and gluing it. It took us a bit of time, but yeah, we did that, and then I also added some pins just to stabilise everything. So the painting is broken down into 3 key layers. We've got the undercoat, which is like a plaster based mix which seals everything, and it gives us a white background, which is basically the mortar in between the joints. And then we've got the painting, which is using some acrylic paints which then are mixed together to give us the different tones and textures. And then finally it's doing a black ink wash to make it look a bit more aged and old rather than kind of quite crisp and a bit fake. So starting with a plaster wash, it's okay to be a bit messy with this because it gives it a bit more texture and tone, and then it gets a bit more detailed with the bricks, so you've got to take a bit of care to not paint between both bricks so you kind of see the mortar in between them. And then the black ink wash is just some ink mixed with water, and that is just as kind of messy, I guess, as the initial plaster coat to give it that rougher texture and tone. And then the final thing that we did was creating this window opening, which just hides all the ugly bits. And here is the final model. I think it's come out quite nice. The texture and tone of the bricks is quite effective, I think. Okay, onwards to the next one.